Hello everyone, it is the 1st of November, it is like 1 a.m., so I'm gonna go over all of the horror movies that I watched in October, spooky month, the Halloween season. I tried to fit in at least one horror movie every other day, so let's just go through them. I got my Letterboxd diary open here. We got kind of like a no-name horror movie, There's Nothing Out There. I wanted to kick off the spooky month with something kind of a little low quality, maybe some fun. It was fun for the most part. A guy obsessed with horror movies is living in one. It's like a mini creature feature. There's like this alien monster thing, and it goes to this cabin where these friends are staying, and it's somewhat interesting and kind of cool. But his character trait, Mike, his whole thing is he knows the in and out of horror movies. It's like the guy from Scream, Randy. It's like him, but dialed up to a million. He does not shut up. He is 100% sarcastic all the time. He never ever gives it a break, and he is so damn annoying in it. But I did have an alright time watching it. I gave it 2 out of 5 stars because it was a little silly, and it was an okay way to start off October, but God dang it, Mike. Then I watched The Craft. My friend saw this movie and he really enjoyed it. It's about witches. I'm not a big witch person, but I wanted to give this movie a shot. I thought the cast was great. The 4 main witches, they're fantastic, especially the lead bad witch, Nancy. She is really, like, I just love her look. I love how, like, dark and intimidating she is. I thought this was a whole bunch of fun. It was also really funny to see Nev Campbell and Skeet Ulrich in this movie because this came out the same year as Scream. I saw this movie at like 3 a.m., and while I should have been tired, this movie was just so damn good to the point where I was not sleepy at all. I stuck with it, it kept my attention, I had a great time watching it. On the same day, a movie that I wanted to have a good time watching, the 2017 remake of The Mummy with Tom Cruise. I've been on a Tom Cruise kind of kick. I heard so many bad things about it, but I thought I'm going to be optimistic. I don't care what people are saying. I am hoping this is going to be good. It's Tom Cruise in a mummy movie. Like, you can't mess that up, right? They kind of messed it up because I believe they were trying to start that dark universe thing that never happened. And I think they focused all their attention into creating that universe right at the beginning instead of like just making a good movie and then capitalizing off of that. It has some creepy moments with the mummy herself. It had some moments where I was like, this could be good, but it just fell off a cliff. I was falling asleep during the last half of the movie. As mid as the movie was, I still kind of would like to see what the Dark Universe would have looked like. Then it was time for another remake, Fright Night. I watched the original, and I thought it was kind of mid. I watched this one because it has Colin Farrell in it, and I love Colin Farrell, and this one, maybe a hot take, I think is slightly better. At least I liked it more. Because Anton Yelchin, love that guy, rest in peace. Anything with Anton Yelchin in it, I'll check it out because I like the guy. It was also nice to see Toni Collette in this. Not the greatest vampire movie. I'm not a big vampire person, apart from Sinners and maybe like 1 or 2 other vampire movies. I'm not a big vampire guy, but this was okay. Colin Farrell, he was kind of a menace in this. Again, another mid movie to kind of kick off the early part of October, but at least I enjoyed this more than the original. This was a bit more fun. I'm sure a lot of people prefer the original, but not me. I thought this was slightly better. The Sixth Sense. Oh my god, The Sixth Sense. I knew the big reveal going into it. I pushed this movie aside for years because I thought, I know the big twist, it's not going to hit me as hard, but that aside, this is just overall a really good movie. Oh, hey, Toni Collette's back. Speaking of Toni Collette, actually, she was so good in The Sixth Sense. She was phenomenal in it. One of my favorite parts, her and Haley Joel Osment, her and her son, especially that last scene with them in the car. Oh my god, this movie was so damn good. Bruce Willis was great in it. The twist is obviously like cool. I really, really love this movie so much. It's become one of my favorites I've seen in recent years. I'd be willing to put this in like my top 100 favorite movies ever because this was just so damn good. Nothing could have prepared me for how good it actually was. M. Night Shyamalan, you're the GOAT. The Shining was a movie that I wanted to rewatch for the spirit of Halloween horror movies, one of the all-time greats. When I first watched it, I thought this was mid, did not give a damn about it, and I decided to give it a second chance, and I still kind of think it's a little on the mid side. I think Jack Nicholson and Shelley Duvall are great. I enjoyed the family kind of like taking a look around the hotel and some history of the hotel more than Jack going crazy and like terrorizing his family. I enjoyed the first half of this movie way more than the second half, and the second half is where we get everything that here's Johnny, the tricycling through the hallway. I think the quality is there. I get why it's so loved. I get why it's so praised. I'm not going to argue against that whatsoever. It's just not for me at the end of the day. Maybe third time's the charm. Maybe next October I'll check it out a third time. But, I mean, I gave it a solid rating. I will acknowledge the quality, but I don't give it a like because I wouldn't say I liked it. I thought it's okay. I think it's a good movie, just not for me. But the next day, I watched Frighteners early Sunday morning. This was a movie for me. It gave me, like I said right here, Beetlejuice vibes. Oh my god. Michael J. Fox is really great in it. So many silly characters. All of the ghost... I forgot this was directed by Peter Jackson. But all of the ghosts, all of the characters. It was such a perfect movie to watch for the Halloween season. I wasn't aware of how silly it was going to be. I didn't know it was going to be more of a comedy. But this movie rocks. I love it. I could watch this every October for years to come. I loved this. I checked out Fight or Flight 2025 movie. Oh, here, okay. Well, this is more sci-fi, but still horror. This is a little movie that came out this year. It's called Run. It's an alien invasion movie. But it came out on Tubi recently. I saw it while checking some showtimes on AMC, and it was there, and I was like, an alien movie? Okay, I'd never heard of this, but there's a reason why you and I have never heard of this movie. It's because it has, like, no budget. It's kind of basic as all hell. The cast, I will say, chemistry is kind of there, and they're all pretty funny. The aliens themselves aren't the best looking, but I think the setup for the movie is alright. These girls go to a cabin on a getaway or whatever, and it becomes this horrifying scenario where, like, the end of the world is kind of happening because of this big unstoppable alien invasion. I think the bones of this movie are good, just everything else is not. The cast is good. I don't know if it turned out the way any of them planned, but, you know, it wasn't terrible. I Know What You Did Last Summer, somewhat of a horror classic, and you know what? I wasn't sure how much I was gonna like it, but the cast is just so good, and the story, while a little on the simple side, it's just a fun slasher, you know? You can't go wrong with I Know What You Did Last Summer. I know the sequels might not be that great from what I've heard, but this was fine. It kind of makes me want to check out the newest one that just came out, even though I heard it was kind of bad, because they say the reveal makes no sense and is really stupid. I'm kind of curious to see how stupid it is. I love Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar. You know, Johnny Galecki is in this for a little bit. I thought this was nice. This was a good, solid slasher. If you haven't seen it, worth checking out, but I feel like a lot of people have seen it already. Moving on to Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare, the cinematic Pooniverse keeps going. This was kind of creepy and kind of okay. It was your standard Pooniverse movie. I really love Blood and Honey 2. I thought the movies were going to keep getting better and better. This was not. This was just okay, little forgettable, alright characters. Peter Pan himself was kind of creepy. Oh yeah, it was really gory. I just glanced at my review here. There were a few, like, pretty gory, like, Terrifier-esque kills and moments in this, so I'll give them credit for that. They don't really hold back in these movies, so, you know, I'm gonna keep watching them. I'm gonna keep watching them. Coraline, I watched this for the first time since I was, like, 10 years old. Coraline freaking rocks. I've been obsessed with it. I've been looking at Hot Topic for merch for this movie. I want everything Coraline. It's just so damn beautiful. I remember not caring about it as much when I was 10. I don't know why. I was a stupid, stupid child. This movie is amazing. One of my all-time favorites now. I nearly, like, skyrocketed this thing in, like, my top 100 movies of all time. It's just so good. I nearly cried at the end because it's such a great string of events we get to end the movie. Other Mother is terrifying. For a kid's movie, there's some pretty creepy, like, shots in this, or creepy-looking moments. It's just such a good-looking movie because stop-motion animation is just so incredible. Other Father's song, making up a song about Coraline, has been stuck in my head for weeks. It's just been stuck in my head. It's so good. I love almost everything about this movie. I could bump it up to that 5-star right now. A rewatch will surely do that. Caught up on some 2025 releases. We have Honey Don't. Bring Her Back. I heard that it could be considered one of the best horror movies of the year. The Philippou brothers are back. They made Talk to Me. I think Talk to Me is good. Not a fan favorite of mine. Bring Her Back. Same level of quality. Really, really good. But I think this one could be a personal favorite of mine because it is so damn vicious. I love the brother and sister. They're great. Sally Hawkins is phenomenal in this movie. Oh my god. It's like creepy. It's just vicious as all hell, especially this little fucker right here, Ollie. He goes through some shit. The middle of the movie where he's left alone in the house with, what's his name, Andy. Oh my god. That scene is crazy. You know what? This could be considered the best horror movie of 2025. There is Sinners. It's gonna be kind of hard to beat that. This is easily like number 2, I think. I got to show my friend Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. He did not like it because he does not know ball. I love Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. Great rewatch. I didn't care for it as much the first time, but I knew it would grow on me. The cast is so good in this movie, especially Rachel Sennett. She is so damn funny. You fucking shot me with a gun! Oh, one of my favorite line deliveries of all time. Her character, Alice, is fantastic. Everything involving her podcast. The characters in this movie are so damn stupid, but that's what makes the movie work so well. It is just one of my favorite murder mystery-esque movies out there, other than like the Knives Out movies. It's just so damn fun. I went on a little bit of a binge with my friend. I checked out Sinners for the first time in years. I know it's considered by science the scariest movie of all time. And, you know, I get spooked by this movie. I'm not a jump scare person at all. I hate them. If your movie has jump scares in it, I will hate it. Well, I mean, I will kind of love it, but I also hate it. This one kind of grew on me. Ethan Hawke, he's the GOAT. I love him to death. Bagul and all the videotapes are awesome. I think the last 20 minutes are very, very good. Not a personal favorite, but I did like it more on this rewatch. I don't know if it's the scariest movie of all time, but I'm not mad at it being in the conversation. I'm not mad at science, I guess. Maybe just the tiniest bit overhyped, but that's science's fault, alright? That's blame science. Then, oh boy, then same day, checked out Teeth. My friend just put Teeth on, and I didn't want to watch it, but then a part of me was like, I know about Teeth. Let me see what it's about. Let me actually see what we get here. And Teeth is, they play this movie so seriously, and I think that's part of the tiniest bit of charm that it has. This movie just sucked. There was like one scene where I'm like, whoa, that's kind of funny. A little predictable, not great acting-wise. I'm surprised I gave this a 1.5 and not just like a 1. Teeth was not good. The Village, I've heard good things about The Village. M. Night Shyamalan back on this video. However, I thought The Village was okay, but I saw the twist like 20 minutes in. I called almost everything that happened, which isn't a bad thing. If a movie's predictable, as long as it's good, I'm still gonna rock with it. This was fine. Just, it didn't click with me. I mean, it has a pretty good cast. Sigourney Weaver's in it. Adrian Brody, Brendan Gleeson, Joaquin Phoenix, Bryce Dallas Howard is really good in it. I don't know, man. Just, I guess not for me. Repo, The Genetic Opera, was a movie my friend wanted me to watch because he just wanted to see my reaction to it. I'm not an opera guy, I've learned from watching this, because I like musicals, where it's like story, story, sing, 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 story, story, sing. An opera, you're just singing the whole entire time, and sometimes that takes away from a few of the moments in the movie. A few segments, or a few, I guess, if you want to call them songs, were pretty good. The two main characters, the father and the daughter, were pretty good. I like them both. It has a nice look to it. The story is solid, but like I just said, I've learned that I'm not the biggest opera guy. I did give it a like because it has some charm to it. I could see myself maybe going back and watching this in a couple years from now. Later that night, I remember watching Vicious. This just dropped on Paramount Plus. I think it's like a Paramount Plus exclusive / original. I don't really know, but it has Dakota Fanning in it, and I love Dakota Fanning. She's great. I thought this was going to be typical slap it on a streaming service horror movie. Wasn't going to be all too great. And the first 20 minutes, it was a bit rough. I was leaning back and forth whether or not I was really getting invested in this, but once the game or this trial starts with Dakota Fanning and this box, I was locked in. I compared it in a review that I put for this. It's almost like a paranormal saw trap that she's stuck in because it's violent. It requires like some mental strength and you having to think things through to get yourself out of this situation. I thought it was pretty good. As the rating curve here shows, a lot of people thought it was kind of mid. It kind of won me over. The ending is a bit messy, the beginning is a bit slow, but that whole middle portion of it, where she's actually doing the game with this box, I thought was pretty cool. You know what, I would consider myself a fan of Vicious. I thought it was good. Army of Darkness, I caught up on my Evil Dead franchise because this was the only missing piece of that puzzle for me. And Army of Darkness I knew is more action comedy with a hint of horror in there. But Sam Raimi was still cooking. This movie is so much fun. I would still say Evil Dead 2 and the 2013 Evil Dead are my favorites from the franchise, but Army of Darkness was still really fun. Bruce Campbell, he's going all out in this. I thought the medieval setting was awesome. Him coming from another time period, like going back in time, was pretty cool. Very wacky movie, but the Evil Dead movies are pretty wacky. The stop motion skeletons, that whole like final battle fight scene, I thought was really well done and animated, and just it looked really good. I just think this movie's just cool. This movie's cool. It's not the best. There was some moments where I was like slightly dipping out of it, but overall it's cool. This movie's just cool as hell. I don't know if we'd consider The Crow a horror movie. I know people consider the original a horror movie. The remake with Bill Skarsgård that I finally watched, I wouldn't say is horror, but since some people consider the first movie kind of horror adjacent, I'll talk about the Crow remake for a little bit. Not good. The final few minutes were cool. Everything from the opera to the end was solid. If they made a second one, which they won't, I wouldn't say no to it. I think Bill Skarsgård is kind of okay in the role. Just the movie, it just sucks. But he's okay. Love and Monsters has monsters, not really a horror movie, but I rewatched that. Lovely time. Beetlejuice, okay. Halloween season is here. I gotta shout out Beetlejuice. I saw this in theaters when it first came out. Beetlejuice is like spooky movie, not horror movie, but like family fun horror, if we want to make that a category. Beetlejuice is my favorite just overall movie of all time. So of course I love the sequel. It is so messy. It has its problems. There's so many things happening. Not everything works. But after a rewatch, I still think the same thing. But I will say that I kind of just love this movie even more after a second time watching it. I just, all my favorite people are back. Michael Keaton, Winona Ryder, Catherine O'Hara, Jenna Ortega, and Justin Theroux are great additions. Willem Dafoe, especially. Very fun movie, very messy movie, but it's Beetlejuice. Like, you're not gonna get some masterpiece. Give me the third one. Give me Beetlejuice. Right now, Tim Burton. Right now. I checked out R.L. Stine's Pumpkinhead. I saw that this was announced for a Tubi original release, and I'm like, I like R.L. Stine. Goosebumps is awesome. I love the books and the show. And this little Pumpkinhead scarecrow guy is pretty cool looking. This movie's pretty bad, acting-wise. The acting is very questionable. Every line delivery is not delivered in the way I think it was intended, except for Rusty, or whatever his name is. Rusty's a kind of cool character. This guy right here, I believe. He's funny. Kid movie funny. I thought this movie had some moments that worked, and then I put it into perspective. I'm like, this is, like, Cartoon Network would probably air this at, like, 7 p.m., on Halloween for the kids and the family to check out. And when I look at it like that, okay, yeah. Mid-movie, not really for me, but I think it's okay as a kids-level horror movie. There's some pretty cool moments in it. The effects, like the pumpkin stuff and the scarecrow, I think it's fine. I think it's fine. Prophecy is a movie that I've been waiting to check out for a while. It finally came back on streaming. My friend sent me a trailer for this on like Instagram Reels years ago. It's okay because I love freaky creature horror movies, and there's a messed up looking bear in here that looks kind of cool. And overall, the story is somewhat interesting. It's an okay horror movie, but while watching it, there's a scene where this guy just like messes hardcore with a raccoon because the raccoon is like going nuts. And I was like, wow, that looked really real. And I looked it up, and apparently they did traumatize and beat on a actual raccoon, and they had to call like the Hollywood Animal Services to like take it off a set and like stop that from continuing. And that just took me out of the movie. Not out of the whole movie. I was still trying to like watch it and be engaged, but after learning that, it's just, man, that just blows. It just blows, took me out of it. I think it's a fine, fun-ish movie. Not the best, but I wasn't expecting it to be the best. Still an alright creature feature. If that stuff doesn't bother you, then you might enjoy it. It would have gotten like a touch higher of a star rating and a like, but because of the raccoon stuff, I'm like, man, why? Why'd you gotta go and beat on a raccoon? Clown in a Cornfield, horror movie that came out this year, not terrible. The cast is kind of fun. The effects are okay. silly little, like, put it in theaters for a few weeks horror movie. You know, we need movies like this in the horror scene. We need fun little killer clown horror movies. And this was that. It was fine. Not my favorite, but it was good. I wasn't expecting, like, really anything. Sweet Revenge. Okay, we have Sweet Revenge, a short that apparently you could have watched by scanning a bottle of Angry Orchard. This was like brought to you by Angry Orchard, but it's Jason Voorhees' official return to our screens. I guess it's a short. Jason's back. I gave it a pretty high rating for a short. It's not the best, but I think it gives us all the qualities that I kind of like in a Friday the 13th movie. In a quick 15 minutes, Jason's back. I'm just happy. I'm a happy camper. I wasn't expecting much. I was a little surprised and happy with what I got. And that's all I really need. I just want Jason back on our screens, doing cool stuff, and I think this was that. Baba was a horror movie that I put on my HBO Max watch list for a long time, because Willem Dafoe actually shouted this out on like one of those Letterboxd videos, saying that, hey, this is like my favorite horror movie of all time, or something like that. So I had to check it out for Willem to Goat. And this was pretty good. I wasn't sure how much I was going to like it, but I thought the story was nice. There are some great shots in it, especially when the demon comes into play towards the end of the movie. I think the characters are somewhat complex, especially the mother-in-law, because a part of me is like, don't meddle in your daughter-in-law's business, but I get the situation, and the guy that is trying to get with the daughter-in-law is kind of scummy, so you're kind of based, mother-in-law. Go for it. Do whatever you plan. The quality is there. Wasn't really scary, but there are some moments where, like, the creepiness kind of dwells in on you. I'm just glad I ended up enjoying it because I did not want to let Willem Dafoe down. And of course, here we go. We have the original Beetlejuice, my favorite movie of all time. Already talked about how much I loved it earlier. It's just the best. It's just the best. It is just the best. I talk about Beetlejuice all the time. Let's move on. I rewatched the Rocky Horror Picture Show with my mom. I did not care for it the first time around. I thought it was a bit too weird. I like weird movies, but this was just a little out there because, like, what is even happening? But then watching it again, you know, I'm enjoying the music. It's kind of a vibe. This movie's just a vibe. Tim Curry's fantastic in it. Everyone's pretty much fantastic in it. Not one of my favorites, but the second time around really helped me just kind of, like, vibe with it more. Move into The Exorcist. Okay. Maybe it was because I watched this late at night. Not even late at night. Just at night. And I was a little tired. But I thought The Exorcist was just bang average. Just right in the middle. I think that the iconic moments that you see in compilations all over the internet and on TV or whatever are the best parts, obviously. People that grew up in that time where this was the scariest thing out and about in theaters, it was not scary in the slightest, but that's just me. That is just me. I think it's an okay movie. I can appreciate what it is and where it came from, like time and place. I know the set was haunted, or all the issues that were around that set and filming this movie. Just The Exorcist, I wanted much more. I wanted so much more. Silent Hill, I gave a rewatch. Loved Silent Hill. The first time I watched it, thought it was amazing. Second time, I realized how much of a mess it kind of is, because I showed it to my parents. And, like, watching a movie with people, you're kind of like, oh, I want them to enjoy this. But then, so you're, like, analyzing the movie more. At least that's what I do. And so when I'm thinking about this movie more, I'm realizing that Silent Hill is kind of just all over the place, but it's still really cool. So I don't care that it's kind of a mess. I love Silent Hill. I think it's awesome. I rewatched Weapons with my friend who wanted to see it. Weapons, I loved it more the second time around. Such a good movie. I said, what did I say? Bring Her Back, horror movie of the year, aside from Sinners. I forgot about Weapons for a brief moment there. Let's put Weapons in that conversation. I think it can beat out Bring Her Back. I think there's a tiny chance it could even beat out Sinners. That is how much I loved Weapons. I still think Sinners is the better movie, but Weapons as just like an event, as an experience, is pretty fun. It's pretty funny. The characters are great. Austin Abrams, who plays James, the little, like, drug addict guy, he is so damn funny in this. I loved his character so much. Zach Kreger's the best. Weapons was awesome. Another movie I could just rewatch all the time. Red Eye, I think, is somewhat of a horror movie, more like suspense, mystery thriller. Yeah, mystery thriller, but give a little shout out. Cillian Murphy with the American accent. Stop that. Don't do that. And I love Rachel McAdams, so this was a fine watch. Scream 3, oh, wait, gotta shout out One of Them Days real quick. Hell yeah, really funny buddy comedy movie. Scream 3 was just on randomly, and I decided to watch it. One of the best in the franchise, I think. It's so dumb. Quality-wise, a little bit on the messier side compared to the rest of the franchise, but I think Scream 3 genuinely might be one of my new favorites from the Scream franchise. It is so good. David Arquette, love him to death. Sydney is kicking more ass in this, but I really, really love Courtney Cox and Parker Posey in this movie together. Both Gale Weathers, they are so much fun on screen together. I love them so much. I just want a movie with just David Arquette, Courtney Cox, and Parker Posey just solving crimes together. I want them back, and I want them doing fun stuff together, please. Men in Black 3, not really horror, but I gotta shout it out. Oh, I love the Men in Black franchise so much. Sorry, Baby. Need to shout that out. One of my favorites of the year. Oh, yeah, that movie. Oh, I love that movie so much. Eva Victor, you're amazing. Terrifier 3, we're back on the horror train. I wrote a long one for that. Okay, Terrifier 3. I'm not a big Art the Clown guy. I think he's okay. Him being the new face of, like, new generation horror, I wish we could have picked someone else, but David Howard Thornton, he's great. Performance-wise, Art is fantastic. I get it. I get the love. Movie-wise, Terrifier 1, don't really care. Terrifier 2, long, little boring, gore is fine. Terrifier 3, they kind of found their footing. Sienna Shaw, Lauren Lavera is the best part about these movies, and I will stand firm on that. I think Terrifier 3 would be the first in the franchise that I would say that I liked. I didn't give it a heart because the ending doesn't really stick the landing. It has its moments, but I think it kind of falls off a cliff here and there, but they are setting up the fourth one, so I'm like kind of torn between whether the movie really worked or whether it was just kind of okay. I love everything involving Sienna's character, trying to adjust to a normal life after the events of Terrifier 2. I enjoyed everything involving Sienna more than the Art the Clown killing spree. I think every story beat involving her and her aunt and uncle and Gabby, I enjoyed more than, like, him beating up on Santa Claus and the chainsaw in the shower. I think those are cool moments. The rat tube kill was really, really good. If we have the story elements from this mixed with the gore from Terrifier 2, I think you have a really good movie. I hope Terrifier 4 finds that sweet spot and finally gets where they need to be. Right around 4 a.m. on Halloween Day, I watched The Tingler, black and white horror movie. I wanted to watch this because it's actually what Finney is watching in the first Black Phone movie, and so I've been thinking about it ever since. And Vincent Price, dude, he is so, like, I don't know if he always acts like this in his movies, but he is just so funny. He's in this character. I don't know how to explain it. But The Tingler I thought was a pretty cool concept. When you scream or when you get terrified, fear itself actually, like, kind of turns into this thing that grows on you. And I think that's a really cool thing that they dive into. I liked it more than I thought I would. This is one of my favorite older horror movies. I really enjoyed it. Practical Magic, while not horror, it does fit the October vibes. Like, yeah, they don't, like, I don't think anything here is like horror, but fall vibes, October vibes. Love Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman. Fun movie. And then we ended right before midnight. I finished Mother. Mother is just straight up horror because this movie is just hell. This movie, especially the last hour, it's just hell on earth. Jennifer Lawrence is really good in this. Javier Bardem is also pretty good. Everyone's solid in this movie for sure, but I really loved Jennifer Lawrence. She's the standout 100%. So many people entering her house while she's just like, why do we have all these people here? And then everything just gets worse and worse and worse, and then Kristen Wiig shows up for like 5 minutes, and then it just gets worse and worse and worse. I've heard rumblings about this movie ever since it came out. I kind of knew what happened the final few moments, especially with the baby, and seeing it finally, I'm like, wow, okay. I don't really know what I'm supposed to be getting from this, but a part of me feeds off and hates the chaos at the same time, and I feel like that might be a lot of people's thoughts on this movie. I don't know, but I thought Mother was a very interesting way to end the Halloween season for me. October 31st, I finished this movie at like 11:30 p.m. Here we are at 2 a.m. almost recording this video. And I thought Mother was pretty good. But yeah, there you go. Those are all the horror movies and, some other bonus movies that I watched in October of 2025. We're in November now. A lot of good movies are hitting theaters that I'm excited to see. I hope I can see all of them, like Predator Badlands I'm seeing next weekend, The Running Man, Wicked for Good, Now You See Me, Now You Don't. There's so many good things coming out, so let's wrap up 2025 with some bangers. Thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments what you watched during October. Let me know your favorites that I shouted out on this list. And I'll see you in the next video whenever that may be. Goodbye.